The movie kicks off with an energetic and intense kiteboarding performance at Hydrus. Billy is a super talented kiteboarder with amazing skills, which makes the crowd cheer him on. However, Coach feels he can do better. With unanimous support from everyone at Hydrus, Coach presents Billy with a ticket, announcing that they've all chipped in to cover the entry fee, and he's been signed up for the Open at the Triple S competition. He also adds an extra $500 to help Billy get to Cape Hatteras, making Billy super excited. He expresses his thanks to everyone, promising not to let them down. However, it seems his girlfriend Sarah isn't pleased at all. She pulls Billy aside, insisting they talk. She argues that kiteboarding won't get him anywhere and urges him to take her father's offer to work in his battery company. Billy can't see himself doing that, but Sarah insists he needs to grow up. Frustrated and tired of the conversation, Billy walks out, but Sarah calls after him, saying their relationship is over if he leaves, and he actually walks out. The next day, before heading to Hatteras, Billy calls Sarah, hoping she can join him, but she sends him to voicemail. Coach drives by, and Billy expresses his thanks once again for everything. Coach stops him, insisting that it's what family does since Billy's parents were like family to him. He advises Billy to be kind to people when he gets out. Billy promises to do so, and gives him a warm hug before driving off. Upon arriving in Mississippi, Billy unfortunately runs out of gas and stops at a gas station. While paying for the gas at the convenience store, he encounters a girl who tries to run away without paying her bill. Curious, Billy steps out back to check on the girl, who is being pursued by two workers. He discovers that they are attempting to take advantage of her and quickly intervenes. He offers to pay her bill, making the girl escape. The men turn on Billy, trying to bully him into giving them all his money. One throws a punch, but Billy quickly takes control, leaving them defeated on the ground, and he even gets his money back before leaving. Later, Billy spots the girl walking along the road and calls out to her. She ignores him at first, but stops when he shows her the slipper she left behind. Billy offers her a ride, but she thinks he wants sexual favors. He assures her he's not interested, and she finally gets in. Billy tries to make conversation, but she rudely tells him to be quiet, wanting to rest. So cranky. When they arrive at the Outer Banks, she wakes up from her nap after Billy hits a bump in the road. She introduces herself as Sky, and thanks him for letting her sleep, and for saving her at the convenience store too. Billy introduces himself in return. Upon arriving at the lighthouse, Billy excitedly stops and asks Sky to take pictures of him by the sign to send back home. He then gets a call from Sarah, but Sky refuses to give him the phone and playfully reads aloud Sarah's messages instead. Billy finally gets his phone back and sends the pictures to Coach, but he doesn't call Sarah or reply to her texts. Guess he's done with her. Sky tries to ask about Sarah, but Billy brushes it off, suggesting they hit the road instead. Unfortunately, Sky steals the money Coach gave Billy. When they arrive at Wind Voyager, Billy excitedly shows Sky the kites he flies. Feeling guilty, Sky returns the money, urging him to keep it safe. Billy isn't mad, which surprises Sky, and he points out top kiteboarders around them. He tells her about Skeeter, aka Skeet, a kiteboarding champion, and Jake, the owner of Wind Voyager, a major sponsor Skeet rides for. Spontaneous as ever, Sky urges Billy to meet up with Jake and Skeet, but he refuses, so she heads off to meet them herself. She introduces herself freely, pulling both into hugs, much to Billy's amazement. She then drags Billy into the group, introducing him as Seth and claiming he's her boyfriend. Sky is definitely a wild one. Billy mentions he's in the competition, and they excitedly wonder if he'll be at the 2 Chainz concert later that evening. Billy has no idea who 2 Chainz is, but Sky quickly claims he's a close friend, leaving Billy baffled. Just then, Jake notices Big Hair, 2 Chainz' sound guy, and Sky, being her carefree self, rushes over to hug him. She whispers her name, urging him to play along and act like she's worked with 2 Chainz before. It's clear at this point, Sky is a handful. Surprisingly, Big Hair plays along with the charade, greeting Jake, Skeet, and Billy before leaving. Moments later, Aubrey, Jake's niece, informs them she can't find Billy's name. Billy admits his name is actually Billy, not Seth, and that he and Sky aren't together. Still, his name isn't on the list. Billy shows Jake the ticket from Coach, and Jake realizes he's in the open competition. He explains that Billy must pass that stage to qualify for the Triple S. Aubrey directs Billy to the registration, and he apologizes for the confusion before heading off, leaving Sky to hang out with the guys. After registering, Billy walks over to Sky, who's made friends with someone else, and asks if she has somewhere to stay. Before she can answer, they're interrupted by Aldrich Amity, the world champion of kiteboarding, who arrives with his sponsor, Eve. Aldrich begins to boast arrogantly, and Sky calls him out. He tries to degrade her, prompting Billy to stand up for her. Tensions rise quickly, but Jake and Skeet step in to break up the fight. As Billy and Sky prepare to leave, Skeet, impressed by Billy's actions, catches up with them and hands over 2 concert tickets, drawing cheers from the small crowd that's gathered. Billy and Sky arrive at the house where he'll be staying during the competition, and Sky quickly bonds with Rad and Cal, the other housemates, joining them to take substances. Later, while relaxing in his room, Billy plays guitar and sings a song. Sky is drawn in by this, impressed by the beautiful melody. Afterwards, she notices his trinket and asks about it. Billy explains it was his dad's, a Navy Special Forces member who passed away on a mission. Sky sympathizes, saying he must be proud of his father's service. She asks about the time for the concert, and Billy tells her, but mentions he wants some rest before then. Sky immediately joins him, boldly pulling off her shirt without any reservations. They end up cuddling, and Billy feels she's the most amazing girl he's met. However, trouble arrives when Sarah shows up at the house looking for Billy. She finds his room and is appalled to see Billy and Sky cuddling. Billy is surprised to see Sarah and tries to explain, insisting he just met Sky, but Sarah isn't having it. Sky, hurt by how Billy explains things, expresses her disappointment and storms out. Sarah, equally angry, follows suit, leaving Billy frustrated. Later, before the concert, Skeet and Aldrich nearly get into a fight, but Jake steps in and suggests they settle their differences with a free downwinder competition the next day. After the open competition, everyone happily agrees to this. The concert is a hit, with everyone vibing and dancing, but Sky, still angry at Billy, ignores him all night, prompting him to leave early. The next day, Billy shines at the open competition, impressing the crowd with his skills. During the free downwinder competition, Sky compliments him on his performance at the open, but when he tries to talk about their unresolved issues, she dismisses him and walks off. As everyone prepares for the free competition, Jake explains the rules. The first person to make it across the buoys of real water sports wins. Billy attempts to talk to Sky again, but she ignores him and asks to ride out with Jake and Aubrey instead. Before they leave, Jake points out that it's clear Billy has feelings for her, making Sky reflect on things. The competition is intense, but Billy eventually wins, leaving Aldrich and Skeet frustrated for not finishing. The crowd erupts in excitement for Billy, and Jake congratulates him on winning the Open, announcing that he's now a professional rider for the Wind Voyager SSS competition. Billy is extremely thrilled, and the crowd cheers loudly. Later, Catherine, an older woman, invites Billy to a small dinner party she's hosting for the riders, a tradition before the tournament. It's clear she's hitting on him, and she boldly grabs him, suggesting she's open to something more. Billy feels overwhelmed by her advances and can't seem to form words for her. Afterwards, Billy tries to practice new moves but keeps falling into the water, getting frustrated. Unbeknownst to him, Aldrich watches from the balcony with a pair of binoculars. Back in his room, Billy calls Coach for advice about Sky. He wonders how to know if a girl is worth fighting for, and Coach explains that it's usually the unexpected ones, those who aren't like everyone else, leaving you with a tingly sensation when they're around. Billy asks how he'll know if the girl likes him too, and Coach tells him it'll be obvious in the way she looks into his soul, because that's how soulmates are made. At the dinner, Billy thanks Catherine for the invite and brings a bottle of wine. When she offers a private tour, he politely declines and decides to meet Rad and Cal instead. Meanwhile, it's clear Jake and Eve have a past. They were once dating, but Jake left when Eve got a contract with Aldrich, feeling like she was more interested in Aldrich, the world champion, and much younger. Jake tries to propose, confessing his love, but Eve just smiles and walks off. Looks like he'll have to try harder. After a great dinner, Sky approaches Billy, asking if she can grab her backpack from his room, and they leave together. When they get to the house, Sky curiously asks about Sarah, and Adam shares that Sarah has left. Inside, Billy tries to express his feelings for Sky, explaining he's ended things with Sarah. Sky, however, makes it clear she doesn't want to be like Sarah or the other normal girls Billy knows. Billy reassures her that she's nothing like the others. She's fun, spontaneous, confident, unpredictable, and beautiful. He's noticed all of that in just a week of being with her. The moment becomes more intense, and they share a passionate kiss, both acknowledging the love they feel for each other. This leads them to take things further, cuddling in the aftermath of their passion. On the first day of the SSS, everyone is hyped and ready for the competition. Presenters Tony and Susie explain the tournament rules. The first stage will determine if riders advance to the finals, and the best 24 male and female riders will compete for a spot on the podium, along with the iconic Air Award. The horn sounds, and the competition begins. The competition is a fierce one, and after a successful first stage, the results are announced. Billy successfully comes out 4th place among the male division. Later, Sky feels down and informs Billy she's leaving the next day. Billy wonders what has suddenly gone wrong, and she opens up about her past. She was moved between foster homes when she was young, making her childhood difficult. She reveals that she was running away from a guy the day she met Billy. Sky fears he'll come after her and doesn't want Billy to get hurt in the process. Billy can't bear the thought of losing her and reassures her they'll face it together, insisting she's not leaving. They lean in for a passionate kiss, sealing their bond. The next day, during the final round of the Triple S tournament, the competition is intense, and Skeeter, Aldrich, and Billy all perform extremely well. Everyone at Hydrus watches the competition on TV, cheering loudly when Billy lands an amazing trick. The long-awaited moment finally arrives, and results are announced in the men's division. Skeet takes 3rd place, another rider takes 2nd, and Aldrich wins 1st. The crowd at Hydrus is disappointed, and Billy, feeling devastated for not making the top 3, heads out with Sky. However, Jake reveals the iconic Air Award, sponsored by Wind Voyager, which grants the winner the best kite tours on a 95-foot yacht. The tension is palpable in the air, while they all wait for the result. Jake eventually announces Billy as the winner, making the crowd erupt in excitement, and Coach cheers loudly for Billy's victory. Billy is overwhelmed with excitement as he receives the iconic Air Award. He thanks everyone in a speech and calls Sky on stage, giving her a kiss, much to cheers from the crowd. He acknowledges Coach with a grateful gesture, knowing it wouldn't have been possible without him. Eva then gives the closing remark, thanking everyone, and surprises everyone by agreeing to marry Jake right there on stage. Jake, overwhelmed, pulls her into a warm hug, and they share a passionate kiss, making it a perfect end to the Triple S tournament. True to the award, Billy and Sky enjoy quality time together on the magnificent yacht. Aldrich also shows up, now at peace with everyone, and part of the Wind Voyager. Skeet and Catherine seem to be getting closer, and Jake is happy with Eva. Sky confesses she feels safe when she looks into Billy's eyes, and he kisses her, realizing she's his soulmate.